question is, am I... Oh, I am. I wasn't sure if I was recording any audio then. Couldn't see it. Right, so, hello folks. This is a bit of a test. At the weekend, I got a new action camera. I got the DJI Osmo Action 4 in the adventure combo style. I bought it from Wex Photographic, who I've bought stuff from in the past. They're very helpful, very friendly, carry a lot of stock. The price was £469, and that seemed the same as everywhere else. However, that was a couple of days ago. This morning I looked online for looking for the DJI remote control for the Action 4, and I found that everywhere had reduced the price of the Action 4 Adventure Combo, which I paid $469 for, to £379. If I'd just waited a day or two, I could have saved myself 90 quid. So you think to yourself, well, that's it, I've lost that 90 quid, and then I thought, well, I don't know, I'll give Wex Photographic a ring, just see if there is anything they can do. They can only say no, can't they? And I spoke to a young lady. I think she was the young lady that actually served me when I bought the camera in the first place. And I explained that I was a little bit miffed, and I realised it wasn't their fault. The DJI have reduced their price, and everybody's followed suit. And she said, no, that's no problem. I can refund you your £90 back to your card, which I have to say blew me away a little bit. I was not expecting that reply. So that's where I'm off to now, but not to get the refund. Well, I'm going to get the refund, but what I actually want is a second Osmo Action 4. I don't know if you can see on the handlebars, my second camera is a little GoPro Hero 5 Session. It's okay. It's for what it is. It's small. It's compact. It's portable. It gives reasonable pictures in 4K. The biggest problem with it is the battery life. The battery's lasting maybe 40 minutes, if that. It's a very limiting factor. So what I ideally want is another Action 4 sitting there as my handlebar cam. Now, I'm an absolute beginner when it comes to motovlogging. This is the first time I've ever spoken to myself inside my crash helmet whilst riding on my bike, and I feel like a complete and utter plonker. I'm guessing it's something you just get used to. I'm not renowned for talking out loud to myself, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I want to try and do a little bit more. I've recorded plenty of video before on our trips to Scotland and things like that. But when I've got back to try and edit it into something that's worth watching, I've always been extremely disappointed. Just hours and hours of footage, looking at the road ahead, no voices because I didn't have any microphones, no commentary, nothing showing us where we're going, where we've been, what we're looking at. It's just tedious. Some people like that. They like to just see the road they've travelled, and that's fine if you want a home movie. But if you want something that's actually going to engage people, make people want to watch it, even if it is just me and my wife, it's got to be worth watching. It's got to have some sort of interest, and so that's why I'm trying the proper motovlog setup. Might turn out I'm a boring twat and I really don't want to listen to my own voice. I just don't know, but we'll see. We'll give it a go, see what happens. So here we are, just arriving at Wex Photographic. Not sure how the camera is going to cope with all this low sun today, but it's nice to see a bit of sun, I suppose. We're heading back home now through Horsham, St Faith, and wend our way across the countryside a little bit. I haven't been down this way for quite some time. I used to come to work this way when I was still employed, before I went self-employed. It's a nice little route, but thank you. Thing is, I don't know what the roads will be like, because we've had so much rain recently and floods, and there's potholes in the road and mud everywhere from the fields, so this might be a mistake, but we'll see. Hey, I'm on a Tiger. It's meant to get muddy. This is a pleasant little village called Coltishall. Anybody who's been on the Norfolk Broads on a hire boat will probably know Coltishall. You have to go under Wroxham Bridge to get to it, which is a very low medieval bridge, and only certain boats can get under it. You don't get all the holiday makers coming up here, but there's generally in the summer a fair few. But some lovely old buildings along here, and beautiful old church. And in a minute we'll get a view of the river as we go straight past it. And there's one of the pubs with lovely Dutch gables on the end, quite an old building, the King's Head. And then there's one right next to it on the riverbank called the Rising Sun. And there is the river. Not many boats about today. In the summer that'll be packed. People jumping in the river. Not sure I'd want to, mind you, with the risk of Viles disease, but hey, never mind. Each to their own. This stretch of road used to be national speed limit along here, between Coltishall and Wroxham. It's only a couple of miles long. Quite a nice little bit of road, but it's a bit bumpy. Couple of bends in it, but they have reduced it to 40 along the whole way, so I better try and be good, especially with the road conditions as they are. You can see the amount of mud and oh dear, oh that's not nice. As I say, mud and crap on the roads, and oh, it's probably not mud. Looking at that, oh my word, yeah, the smell of it. So not only have I got mud and salt on the undercarriage of my bike now, I've probably now got cow shit. Oh well. Oh look, there is one big trailer full of crap, and some of it's on the road. Marvellous. Ugh. This is just coming into, it's, well, people call it Wroxham. It's not actually Wroxham. Wroxham's the other side of the river. This is Houghton. What I'm going to do is go straight across here, go down past Horning, through Potter and back through Acle. Have a little bit of a little bit of a tour of the Norfolk Broads, or certainly the northern rivers anyway, and areas that tend to be the most well known when it comes to holiday makers and people on boats. Well, that spoiled the fun, hasn't it? That was quite a nice little overtake. Managed to get all of them up to the lorry, and just before the 40 as well, so all worked out nicely, didn't it? This is the back end of Horning. The houses to the right just look fairly ordinary from here, but just the other side they're overlooking Black Horse Broad, which is a big broad, one of the shallow lakes that the Norfolk Broads is famous for. Now coming out of Upper Street, and we're going to head towards Johnson Street, which is where Ludham Bridge is. People who know the Norfolk Broads, that's another bit of a landmark. This is the bridge here, the river running underneath it. Again, in the summer this is like Piccadilly Circus, because you can only get one boat going under the bridge at a time, so you end up with a bit of a bottleneck. Look at that, it's pretty, isn't it? Looks nice in with this winter sun. And we're now coming down into Ludham Village properly. That's it. Get my teeth in, breaking them in for the dog. Thank you. Thanks for waiting, mate. I don't mind admitting, I am wishing now that I had put my my heated socks on. My toes are a little bit chilly. Gotta love the acceleration of the Tiger. So much torque, it's absolutely wonderful. This is Potterheim, famous Lotharms, the Harrods of Potterheim, and this is the old medieval bridge, which very few boats nowadays can get under. It's so low, there's only about 6 foot headroom. You need a pilot to get under there anyway, and looking at the height of the river, I mean it's almost up to the bank over there. I would suggest there's not a lot going under the bridge at all at the moment. Yeah, it is very high. Look at that. Wow. Just noticed my handlebar camera is pointing at my navel, so I'm guessing there won't be a lot of footage I can use from that. Never mind. That will be an Osmo Action 4 before too long. Afternoon, chaps. Oh, it's a bit breezy across here. Yeah, it's the road between Repswith, Bastwick and Acle. It's actually a lovely road. It's nice swoopy bends, big open views. Trouble is, at the moment, it's quite a side wind. There's yet another river crossing here. This is Acle Bridge. Going over the River Bure as it wends its way down to Great Yarmouth and eventually out to sea. Another busy spot in the summer. And here we are back to the A47. That was a much longer route home than I had anticipated originally, but as I said earlier, it's just nice to get out and have a ride this time of year. Few and far between days that you can. Well, thanks to the indicators, mate. Cheers. Much appreciated. Well, with that, I'm going to sign off, and remains to be seen whether any of this is worth editing, whether I've got the cameras mounted properly, or whether I just sound so boring that even I'm not going to want to listen to it back. We'll see. Stay safe.